Okay, I think we are all. So I will start one more time. Can you hear me? Is everything okay?
I can hear you.
Yeah? Okay, great. So,
Yes.
this is first training. I would like to make similar trainings regularly, once a week, maybe once in 2 weeks, to get most of DesignForms features. I have created special section in DesignForms forum under DesignForms developers. And there is section trainings, and I will put the topic of each training here, and also here will be the content and the recorded video of the training. Yeah? So you can go to DesignForms forum and find the topic. So to the content, first the first topic today is norm references, which is something which was highly required, especially by Eurocode in Western Europe. Norm references are in fact references to article from norm code, which says exactly which equation, which article of the norm was used. The norm reference is created simply by adding ref attribute behind the equation or behind the text command. Generally, any visual component can have norm references, but now it's switched on just for text and equations. The norm reference is linked to its leading component, to the equation or to the text, but it's not the size of the norm reference do not influence the size of the visual component itself. So the component with or without the norm reference behave the same for the linking and flow of the components. It means that when I make this to link this equation to the text, it's working as it was as before. There is no influence of the norm reference. The formatting of norm reference works very similarly to other visual component. You just click on the norm reference in the preview in the output, and you can set the font, you can set the style, size, all the stuff, as well as let's say location. Typically the norm references are on the right side of the paper, but you can use any formatting as for standard visual component. Yeah? Everything works, but typically and recommended is use none formatting on the line and set some value to link it to right side of the paper. As you can see, norm references are automatically aligned to the right. Yeah? When I type some long text, it's aligned to the right side. Each layout have its own set for norm references. So I've changed something in layout 0. I will change it to something different. So this is in layout 0. Layout 1 have completely different settings. Layout 2 have its own settings. Yeah, so you can set whatever you want for each layout. You can switch it off simply by clicking invisible. Yeah, that's all. So these are norm references. There is an example at DesignForms forum. You can find the example, download and try on your computer. This is exactly the sample which is used in forum. Is there any question to norm references? I check the chat. Okay, nothing. So, by the way, of course, this forum topic is also intended to the questions and answers to the topics of the training. Yeah? So, if you have any problems with samples or you want to ask something, please use this discussion forum to make the question and answer available for all users. Yeah? So, the second topic of today's training is renaming of variables. It was a request from concrete guys which have blocks of code which is used several times, but to make nice graphical output they would like to call the block with different let's say variable names or at least indexes. As you can see in this example, I have very simple equation which calculate normal stress on the beam from normal force and bending moment. And what I'm trying to do, I would like to call this with different indexes of nx, m, or normal force, bending moment, and the stress. Yeah? I have solved this issue or make the feature by creating system function rename var, rename variable, which changes the draw name of the variable which is defined by the first parameter to the result of the second parameter. As you can see in this function, I call this first time with index lower index x. So n, m, and sigma are renamed to nx, mx, and sigma x, and here's how it looks in the output. Then I call this with y and z, and these are the results. The rename variable function or the draw name of the variable remains the same for the rest of the calculation. It means to the end of the calculation the variable remains renamed. This is shown in this example where I call the same equation, but I am renaming with some index, numeric index. There is also a new function low index, similar is upper index. These are functions used to create lower and upper index. Yeah, you can use it. In this example, I call simple for cycle and rename the variable n and m, which are global variables with the lower index. And as you can see, the variable, when I finish the for cycle, remains renamed. So from the m without index, I get m with the lower index 3. Yeah? It remains to the end of the calculation until I call rename variable without the second parameter. This is some kind of reset function which restore the origin name of the variable. It means when I call these two functions, I get back the origin names of these variables, which are m and n. Again, you can download this example from the forum and study how it works. Just recommendation, renaming of global variables is, in my opinion, dangerous, because when you don't handle all variants and all paths of the script, you can get a mess in the output. So I strongly recommend rename only local variables of the function as is it used here. Yeah. When you rename local variable, it remains renamed, but global variables are untouched. and you can work with this without any problems. Yeah. So this is recommendation. Draw names are automatically reset at the beginning of the calculation, so you don't have to worry about renaming when you, for example, call calculation several times in calc.exe for various beams or members. The draw name is automatically reset at the beginning of the calculation, at the beginning of generating of the output. Yeah? So at the beginning, each variable starts with origin name. Any questions to renaming? Okay. So the last topic for today is link queue expressions and lambda expressions which are used in link queue. The link queue is a pretty famous feature of C#. I have tried to implement something similar in DesignForms. Link queue is set of several functions which are typically applied to the array of components. In this example, I have an array of points, but you can apply these functions to any array, array of strings, numbers, table rows, whatever you want. Of course, structures, you can use it in IO structure, data cache. All these can be handled by link queue. So, to the example, the first set of functions is pretty simple. The first, we are trying to calculate maximum x coordinate of the points. We start with the static object link queue and call the max function of this object. The parameters are the first is the array which will be used for the function. It means array where we want to find the maximum. And the second parameter is so-called lambda expression. How it works? DesignForms will automatically apply this lambda expression to each element of this array and then calculate the maximum of the result. It means it converts all points to its x coordinate and then calculate the maximum. As you can see, the result is 87, which is the x coordinate of the second point, which is the maximum. Similarly, we calculate the minimum of y coordinate, which is 17. It's okay. The average and sum. This expression in lambda expression can be is completely general. You can use functions. You can get the property of the object. You can even call external calculation, whatever you want. Any DesignForms expression can be used here. Yeah. Any questions here before we go to the next? Link queue and lambda expressions are, in my opinion, very powerful and very important parts of the script, because it can save you a lot of lines of code and make the code much more readable. So please ask if you need some explanation. Okay, so the second set of the functions is the first and last. The first, select the first element of the sequence which fits the criterion. In this case, we are trying to get the first point with x coordinate greater than y. The result is the second point. Yeah? Similarly, the last function, select the last element which fit the criterion. There are two variants of the first and last command. As you can see, we have a first and first or default. There is a major difference. First will return the first or throw an exception if no element fits the criterion. The first or default will return null if no element fits the criterion. It's a major difference, and please carefully select which behavior you need, because running in calc.exe now, any exception leads to the termination of the calculation, and the calculation fails. Yeah, so first or default. Yeah. Now we are going to slightly more complex order by and order by descending functions. Orders the array, the sequence by the expression. In this case, we are sorting by the sum of x and y coordinate. Yeah? This is the result of the function. That's all, and that's the result. Maybe I will try to explain again. For each element, it will calculate the sum of x and y coordinate and create a new array, new enumerable collection of these points ordered by this expression. Yeah? It's important that the result is a new collection. Yeah, so you get new array of elements. Function where select points that satisfy some condition. In this case, there is some condition for x and y coordinates. The result is here. As you can see, we will get a new array with just elements which fits the condition. I will try to refresh to get more points. The difference between where and first is that here we can get several elements. First return only one or maximum one, yeah? Or throw an exception. The last function is the select. This function convert the elements to something completely else. In this example, I convert points to its distance from the coordinate origin. Again, we will get a new array. In this case, array of distances from the coordinate origin. As you can see, these are numbers. It's applied on the selection from the previous step, so we will get 3 distances. So from array of points, we get an array of numbers, of doubles. Yeah? This function is very useful, and again, it can save you lots of lines of code. When you need to convert something to something else, you can think about LINQ and lambda expressions. It saves you all for cycles or while cycles or whatever. It is very powerful. Of course, you can combine, for example, where, select, maybe order by commands to get what you want or what you need. I have prepared some example which I used recently in refactoring of basic package. Sorry, a question. LINQ.where, if it finds no, we can try it. When I change it to 500, I think it returns empty array. So there is no exception in this case. Something more in chat? No. Yeah, so if no element fits the criterion, then you get empty array. No exception is thrown. Back to the example. I want to draw steel section which can be composed from one or several components. There is some service at the beginning. I create the graphic object, set some scale parameters and the pen. Interesting part start here. I check the length of the components node, which tells me if the cross-section is from one or several components. This is cross-section from two U sections, from two channels, so this condition is true. This is quite simple. I fill the polygon and draw the borderline of each component. By the way, here we use the for each command. It's also something new. The interesting use of link-U comes here when I use concat lists command, which combine the content of or array of points of each component to one array. So let's have a look how it works. The point or points of the shape are stored in io.cs cross-section.component.shape.point. I want to iterate or join all components together. So the array which I use as a first parameter is the array of all components. And I convert the component, each component, to the array of its points. So I convert it to component.shape.point. Yeah. The result of this command is an enumerable collection of these points, so I need to convert it to array because otherwise I would not be able to apply this or use this as an input parameter of function getBounds. As you can see, the result of this is array of 54 points. Then I can call function getBounds, which returns the rectangle bounding all these points, and then I can simply draw x and y dimensions. In fact, the bounding box of the cross section. Yeah. I think here you can see the power of link-U. You can try to type this using 4 cycles. It would be much more lines of code and much more demanding on time and memory, and of course you would have to handle the output and so on. Yeah. So this is the real usage of link-U. Other, of course, as we discussed with concrete guys, you can use var command of link-U to select, for example, just a combination of internal forces with is critical property true. You can easily select combinations with non-zero normal force, non-zero bending moment, and whatever you need. And so using link-U, you can prepare the data which will be the input for your calculation in few lines of code, which is very readable and easy to maintain because it's all in one place, no complex for cycles with a lot of variables and the stuff. This is all from my side. Do you have any questions to the link-U? If not, we are almost fit the time. It's 26 minutes. So this is all from my side. I will put the recording of this training to the DesignForms forum. If you have any questions or need some help, please put your question to the DesignForms forum and I will answer as fast as possible. Yeah? So thank you for your attention and have a nice day.
Thanks, Peter.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Peter. Very nice.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.